Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of First and Cedar Knitting. This is a blog where I talk about my knitting, what I'm currently knitting on, and what I would like to knit, and all kinds of knitty and crochet type things. It's been a minute since I've done an episode. It's been crazy here at the home front. I'm sure everyone's kind of in the same boat. Lots going on as we approach the holidays. Tomorrow is American Thanksgiving. So yeah, here we go. I do not think I have any finished objects to share with you guys today. I might be wrong, but in the last episode, I think I showed you guys my finished Stick Seasons sweater, the maroon one. I think I did because I talked about how I misread the directions for the sleeves, and this happens quite often with me. The way people sometimes write their directions where they're like decrease every 9th row, which means you count 8 rows and on the 9th one you decrease. And then sometimes people write it and they decrease after every 9 rows, which means that you would knit 9 rows and decrease on the 10th. So sometimes you got to pay attention to that, just little differences in how they write it, where they either tell you, you know, decrease on the 10th row, which means 9 rows and then you decrease on the 10th, or knit 9 rows and then decrease. Anyway, so it's just language. So on the Stick Seasons, I did not read that correctly, and so I ended up with an extra row between the first set of decreases. She actually does 2 sets of decreases on the sleeve, and my sleeves ended up longer, and I actually really love that. The body came out really well. I wish I would have done it a little bit longer, but yeah. So no finished objects to share today, just reminiscing about my last finished item, and I talk about it in the last episode, and I've been wearing it a lot because we are here in Denver and it has been beautifully cold. Perfect sweater weather. So yeah, so let's get into some whips. I don't know if I had shown this one or not, but I started a circular yoke colorwork sweater, and I was hoping to have it done by Thanksgiving. And this is the Althea sweater by Jennifer Steinglass. She is Knit Love Wool, or Knit Wool Love Knit Wool on Ravelry and social media. I'm not sure. It's one of those 3 words in some order. And she does mostly designs circular colorwork sweaters. And I have this orange. I know I talked about it before. It's like a acrylic wool blend. It's the same yarn as the maroon one. And it's yarn I had purchased before we had left to live in Japan for the 2 years. And so it was here when I came back, and I figured I'd put it to good use. And then this white creamy one was one my mother-in-law bought for me. She visited a random yarn shop and came back with a natural skein, and I don't have the tag, but I'll put the information down below if I find it. And I'm on the 2nd sleeve. This was supposed to be my Thanksgiving Day sweater, but it's not done yet. So yeah, I'm using US 6. I used US 7s for the colorwork because I'm a tight colorwork knitter, and I do believe it was like US 3 for the collar. I'm hoping, you can't see it on camera, but it kind of bunches up a little here. I'm hoping that evens out as I block it. Other than that, I'm following, I'm not doing any modifications. The sleeves seem nice and long. I did do modifications. She does a garter cuff and a garter here at the bottom, and I just did ribbing instead, but the same measurement. I'm not a huge fan of just garter at the edges. So yeah, this one is my Thanksgiving Day sweater, and it's almost done. I'm pretty sure I haven't shown this one. And this one's in timeout. And it is a crochet and knit one. I know I've made some Instagram posts, and the reason why it's in timeout is because of the structure of the fabric. I don't know if it's coming off on screen, but it is quite stiff. And I didn't realize how stiff it really was until I sewed the front and the back together. But it is a creamy, and it's two different yarns. It's a fluffy yarn and just a regular one. And I knit the collar on to the crochet. It came out really well. And I started on the sleeve, but before I did, I tried it on, and it just kind of made me look like a sack of potatoes. Didn't have any drape to it. Like this one's got drape, right? Like you can see how the fabric is just nice and loose. This one just does not drape that way. So it's in timeout as I decide what I'm gonna do with it. It's probably gonna hit the frog. I'm probably gonna unravel it and possibly redo it without this yarn. So this is the culprit that's making it hard. It's Micheals yarn, Tweed, heathered tweed, and it says it's a 3 on the scale, but it's a little bit thicker because it's such a fluffy yarn. And the other yarn I'm using is also from Micheals, Luxe Merino, and it is also a 3, but it is not as thick and it is drapier. And I do love this cream color. I think it would go really nice with my hair. So I think I am gonna unravel, this, take the yarn for the cream and make a sweater, take this, and since it's such a fluffy yarn, I think I'm gonna turn this into just a basic scarf. And we're gonna change it up here. Now, I'm really sad because I was really excited about how this like knit crochet combo was coming out. But I think I'm just gonna have to wait until I have the budget for actual mohair, to crochet mohair. That's gonna be expensive because crochet uses at least twice as much yarn as knitting does. But there's my top seam. It's really cute, the idea of it. But yeah, so this is a work in progress that's probably gonna hit the frog pond. I have my swatch, and now my swatch is drapier than that. So I'm wondering if maybe I should block it, but I worry that if I block it, the fluffy yarn's gonna like stick to itself and it's gonna be impossible to unravel. Stay tuned and I'll let you do what we do. Yeah, so I've got 2 new cast-ons to share with you here in a second, and I'll be right back with those. Okay, new cast-ons. All right, sorry. Here we go. Circular yoke, short rows. Colorwork, you see the letters starting to take shape. This is my Taylor Swift / Chiefs sweater. I'm using Cascade Heritage, which is a sock weight, fingering weight, 75-25, 75% merino wool, 25% nylon, superwash. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this one, designing this one myself, for myself. And that's the letters in my Chiefs era. So that'll be fun. I'm gonna wear it at Christmas when we go home to my parents and my husband's parents' house in Missouri. I think it'll be fitting to wear. So hopefully I can get it done before Christmas. Yeah, just cream for the body, gold and red, the Chiefs colors for that, and just a fun little project that I'm working on. This one, I actually based it off of a design that I did last year when Taylor and her boyfriend, Travis, started dating, and they were going to the, she was going to the games, and I was like, man, if she was a knitter, I bet she'd knit herself a sweater to go watch these Chiefs games. Okay, so that's where that idea came from. I already showed you this one. Toss it on the other side. And then I have this other one that I just started, very beginnings, not even the full collar. And this one is going to be a circular colorwork sweater for my daughter. Can you even see that? So the blue is the main color, and then the purple and this dark green are gonna be the contrast colors for the colorwork. And then this is the sweater. It's a free drops design, and I'm super excited about it. I love making my kids sweaters. So a DK weight color work. It's just a little bit of color work along the top. The rest of it's gonna be super easy stockinette. And I think what I'm gonna do is then I'm gonna make one for my son, and I'm just gonna switch out the purple for a different color, orange or blue or something, and make him one too. I am modifying this pattern. So this pattern is bottom up, and I've never really done that, which is fine. I guess I could have taken the risk and done it, but I like top down better, especially for the kids, because I can, come here, let me put this over your head and see if it fits. And so if I'm putting the time and energy into it, I want it to fit them, and I think top down is the way to go for that. So I'll make a Ravelry page for that project. That way you can see what I did. But basically I'm just reversing the instructions. It says you end up with, for her size, 94 stitches at the neck where you're doing the collar. So I started with 94 stitches, and then I'm going to increase until I get throughout the color chart as I work it backwards, and make sure I have enough stitches for the sleeves and the body, and then I'll separate those out and then just kind of go from there. Maybe do whatever hems I choose to do. Might do twisted rib, we'll see. I didn't do twisted rib for the collar, so it'll probably just be a regular, same as the collar. But yeah, I'm super excited about that one. Some slightly less child light colors, so they're not like fluorescent kitty colors. They're just very dark, moody colors that I think will look really pretty for her. So yeah, so those are my whips and my most recent cast-ons that you guys hadn't seen. I haven't made any progress on any other projects. I actually think I have another colorwork yoke that I did, but I'm gonna frog. I may show it next time if I haven't frogged it yet. It's kind of just hanging on my wall. But I don't have enough yarn, and I don't want to buy more yarn to try and finish it. So, and it's the Lion brand Fisherman's Wool, and so it's really thick and really rustic. It's coming out kind of rough, so I didn't think I would actually end up wearing the sweater. So yeah, sorry, I feel like this episode I'm all just everywhere. We've had a lot going on, so my brain has just been a little bit distracted. But yeah, I have one more little thing to chat with you guys here at the end, still knitting related. So just, yeah. So I have to cut my videos and make them several little, I have to do it in a chunk so that it is easier for me to edit, or else I can't do it. So if you didn't know, we recently moved back to the States from having lived in Japan for 2 years. And we own our house here in Denver, and we boxed up our stuff and left it behind. Most of our stuff. We took some stuff with us. So some of the stuff I didn't take all of my hand knit sweaters that I had up until that point. I figured I could always make more while I was in Japan, and there was other more important things to take with us as we traveled halfway around the world to live in Japan for 2 years. So I left behind some sweaters, and I'm kind of wishing I had it. I left behind some yarn too. Some of the yarn that I'm using now that I had here, that orange one. I put all of my yarn in plastic bags, put it inside a plastic tote, and we put it in the basement, and it stayed here. And we boxed up some clothes as well, and in with that clothes was a couple of my hand knit sweaters, and you can already see it here. They got moths. They got mobbed. This one I think had already been mobbed before I put it away. That's why I didn't take it with me. I'm trying to find the spot. There it is. And I have some yarn of this, and so I think I had put it in my closet just thinking, oh, I'm going to maybe mend that at some point. Fix that moth-eaten hole. And I obviously didn't get around to it before we left. So yeah, that one. And this is a beautiful, one of my first knit sweaters that actually came out, just absolutely gorgeous. This is by Caitlin Hunter, and it's a Zweig. The blue yarn is a Quince & Co. And then this yarn, I believe, is a Madeline Tosh. And the lace work, it was my first color work. It was the first sweater that fit really, really well, and I really enjoyed wearing. The body given was a little bit long, but better too long than too short maybe. So yeah, got a hole. And then as I was unboxing more of my clothes, I found this one, and you can kind of see, there it is, the moths ate through it. It's so sad. And this was a silk merino blend, and they leave the silk bits behind. Moth spit. So yeah, I'm trying to think if I have some of this yarn, but it's kind of everywhere. There's all kinds of holes everywhere. So this one might just hit the, it's got acid dye in it, so I don't think I can compost this one. Which, by the way, if you buy non-superwash, naturally dyed, or just in natural colors, if that garment ever stops being of use to you, you can always compost it and put it back into your garden or something. Or send it to someone that composts. I'm sure they would like it. Anyway, so that's my sad tale of 2 sweaters that I think I'm just gonna get rid of. So sad day for sweaters. So I've got stuff all over me, and yeah, I think that's all I have to share with you guys today. Oh, hats. So every year, I'll pause and then come back. All right, so for the last 2 years, as winter rolls around, I make my family a hat. Everyone gets a new hat. And this started 2 years ago. Before we left for Japan, I made everyone a hat for winter. And the hat that was really popular that year was the Oslo hat by Petite Knit. And this is just a sort of variation on it. It doesn't have the fold over. It just has folded it, picked it up, and then kept going. So I made one for each family member. I made several of these, quite a few, because the design was popular, and it was just so simple and sleek. Put up a cute pom on it. And so that was 2022, I made those hats. Last Christmas, or last winter in 2023, I made everyone these hats, which I don't have with me because they're still being shipped back from Japan. And these are, I think they're called Deep Winter Hat by Pine and Wool. They have the sea glass sweater. They have a lot of beautiful patterns. If you haven't checked them out, please do. And so this one, because we were in Japan and we didn't have as harsh a winter as we've already had here in Denver, I did a lace, no, cables. It has cables and it's single. It doesn't have a double brim around the ears. And so this year I am trying to think about what kind of hat I want to make my family. I have yarn picked out. I have some fingering weight that I can either hold double and make a DK weight hat pattern, or I can hold it single. And I am having the hardest time deciding on a pattern. So the first year I did a very simple one. The next year I did very beautiful cables, and so now I'm trying to decide what to do year 3. And this is something I kind of want to keep going. With the kids, it's nice because their head grows, so then the next year their hats don't fit them quite as well, and so making them a new hat is just nice. My husband might not get a hat every year. I'll wear a new hat each year because I think it's just fun. So yeah, so if you have any recommendations on what hats I should make for my family, if you have fallen in love with the pattern, I was thinking of maybe doing something like this. This was in 2021, the hat I made myself. And it just is similar to the Oslo hat where you pick it up and then put them together so that that stays at the fold, and it's all twisted rib. Half twisted rib because it's in the round, and I don't twist my pearls, though on the inside it looks just as nice. So I was thinking of maybe doing this and then making it even longer so I could do a third folded up and then add the extra height that I need to make it, because then you'd have 3 layers. At the ears, which, you know, with hats, I still end up with cold ears even when I wear this one with the double here. So I'm thinking I might self-draft that, take some numbers. This is fingering held double. This is fingering held double as well. So I think a good DK weight. But yeah, what hats have you been, oh, I should put a pom-pom on that one. What hats have you been making? That's all my knitting content for today. It's been weird. It's been a weird end of November. But tomorrow's Thanksgiving. I'm gonna make turkey and casserole and pumpkin pie and all kinds of stuff. It's just me and my kids and my husband here at the house this weekend, and it's just gonna be chill. We got about 2 inches of snow outside right now, and yeah, just trying to be cozy. So I hope you have a great Thanksgiving weekend. Be safe as you travel to and from, and I will see you hopefully next week with an update on all my knitting and all the goings on. Yeah, thanks for watching.